Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got an excellent show for you guys here today. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So today we're going to have some fireworks. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. But anyway, we're going to be having some fireworks today at the White House. Why? Because newly elected Mayor Zohran Mamdani is going to be going to the White House to see Donald Trump. Now, Zohran is, I don't want to say he's a controversial figure depending on who you're talking to, right? Some people view him as a socialist, communist, where others view him as a breath of fresh air, where, for instance, some of the Democratic Party is saying maybe we need to look at what this guy's doing and then try to model that going into the future because he spoke directly to the needs of what people were going through in New York City, and maybe that's something that they need to try. So a lot of people have been kind of weighing in on what they believe Zohran Mamdani to be, right? But nevertheless, he's going to be going to the White House, which is, by the way, customary whenever you become a mayor of whatever city that you go visit the president. Now, as you guys know, Donald Trump and Zohran have been having this kind of back and forth over the last few months where they've been going at each other. Right, especially when he was on his campaign, when he was campaigning to ultimately leading up to his election night in New York, they went back and forth with each other. So what we want to quickly do is we actually want to play some of the back and forths that Zohran and the president had leading up to their meeting today, and I'm going to come back to you on the show. Take a listen to this here.
My administration would be Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
I think he's frankly, I've heard he's a total nut job.
And it's where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism.
He's a communist. He's not a socialist, by the way. There's a big difference. He's a communist. He's down and dirty. He's a communist.
There is no borough that will be free from Trump's cruelty.
Now it looks like we're going to have a communist mayor in New York. That'll be a lot of fun.
Excellent. So you heard that. Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, as you guys know, she usually talks to the press about everything. So they asked her to weigh in on Zohran coming to the White House to meet the president. And Caroline, man, you got to hand it to her, man. She really knows how to she really knows how to do her job in the way that the president likes. Because, you know, I mean, listen to her speak. It almost sounds like you're listening to the president. Sure, she pretty much has the pattern down, man. So when they asked, when a member of the press asked her about Zohran coming to the White House, she used it as an opportunity to take a shot at him, but also praise the president for speaking to him. And I'm like, you already know this thing is going to be fireworks. Take a quick listen to what the press secretary had to say about Zohran visiting the White House today.
Sure.
Thank you, Caroline. Is there anything that Mayor-elect Mamdani could say tomorrow that would ease the president's concerns about his future leadership in New York?
Look, I don't want to speak for the president or get ahead of this meeting that we are currently working on tomorrow. As you saw, the president put out a statement tomorrow that the mayor-elect will be coming to the Oval Office, and so our teams are arranging those details. I won't get into the president's thinking on it. I think you'll all hear from him directly. I also think I will just add, it speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House because that's who the Democrat Party elected as the mayor of the largest city in the country. I think it's very telling, but I also think it speaks to the fact that President Trump is willing to meet with anyone and talk to anyone and to try to do what's right on behalf of the American people, whether they live in blue states or red states or blue cities, in a city that's becoming much more left than I think this president ever anticipated in his many years of living in New York himself.
Excellent. So you heard what she had to say. Now I want to get to the serious part of this show. Let's talk about some of the things leading up to this meeting that we need to discuss. So I'm reading from an article from The Guardian that says Donald Trump and Zohran Mamdani to have first face-to-face meeting at the White House. It then continues on. Just a second here. Yeah, it then continues on. Donald Trump and Zohran, the New York City mayor-elect, are scheduled to meet at the White House this afternoon in an encounter between the two ideologically opposed leaders with conflicting visions for the nation's largest city. The meeting marks the first face-to-face discussion between the combative Republican president and the defiant Democratic socialist who secured a commanding electoral victory last month with over 50% of the vote. The meeting comes after months of back and forth with the president, with Trump only recently having called Mamdani a communist lunatic, while the incoming mayor has pledged to Trump-proof New York City and has accused the administration of pursuing policies designed to punish the metropolis. For Mamdani, a left-wing state assembly member, until his shock primary victory, this sit-down presents an early test of his ability to negotiate with the president who controls vast federal resources that the city depends upon. Mamdani's team made the first move in reaching out for a meeting, all while Trump earlier threatened to withhold the funding from New York if Mamdani took office. Though he has since suggested a more conciliatory posture, telling Fox News, "I'm so torn because I would like to see the new mayor do well, but I love New York." And then I'll just read quick a little bit more what it says here. It said the administration has deployed multiple pressure tactics ahead of the meeting. Immigration and customs enforcement officials have signaled plans to escalate operations in New York City, while a number of right-wing congressional Republicans suggested investigating whether Mamdani's citizenship is valid despite his naturalization in 2018 after immigrating from Uganda as a child. So you have that. Now, I just want to quickly touch on something else which is important, which is just kind of give you guys a quick glimpse of what his ideas are in his policies. I'm talking about Zohran, as he's now going to become the mayor of the New York City. So I want to read from this article here from CNN. It says, here's a look at Zohran Mamdani's policies, ideas. Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, the front runner in the city's mayoral race, has multiple proposals that have garnered significant interest throughout the campaign as he aims to make the city more affordable. They include a plan to create New York City's first universal child care program, making city buses free and freezing the rent for 1 million rent-stabilized tenants in the city. He has also proposed a tax on the city's wealthiest residents and an increase in the city's corporate tax rate to pay for his policy ideas, which critics have said are unrealistic. Now, I want to quickly just give you a quick glimpse of what some of his things he's talking about. So you have universal child care. The cost of child care is at a crisis level in New York City, which is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Mamdani's proposal would implement free child care for all New York City children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old and would expand existing pre-K and 3K programs launching during the Bill de Blasio's administration. Mamdani wants to fund this proposal by taxing high earners and corporations. Second one, fast and free buses. Mamdani made buses a centerpiece of his campaign, proposing to expand a pandemic-era pilot program and eliminate fares on all city buses. Mamdani has proposed expanding dedicated bus lanes to speed up bus traffic. Mamdani's free bus proposal would be funded by raising the state's corporate tax rate as well as income taxes on New Yorkers who earn more than $1 million per year. Then you have city-run grocery stores. Mamdani would like to create 5 government-subsidized grocery stores, 1 in each of New York City's boroughs. This is one of Mamdani's most controversial ideas, with critics comparing his plan to a Soviet-era government food rationing. Mamdani refers to his plan as public option for produce. He said the government stores would address rising food prices, but by using city land for stores, buying food at wholesale prices, and not charging owners property tax. So those are some of his policies and all of this. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I can't wait to see what this meeting is going to be like. I really can't, because there's one thing when a particular candidate is campaigning and they may not be campaigning as a member of your party, and you take shots at them. You're going to say things about them. You're going to say this. You're going to say that. It's another thing when that's kind of over with, and you guys are now sitting down, and you're not really you're not going back and forth with one another. I'll give you an example of it. Think of all of the things that President Obama said about Donald Trump on the on the presidential stump during the campaign, right? And then some of the things that President Donald Trump said about Barack Obama. Wasn't it the two of them that we saw last time sitting together look like cracking jokes or whatever, and he's making Obama laugh and all? So it's one thing when you're in the heat of elections and all that, but it's another thing when you guys are sitting down now, you're actually talking face to face. So I don't think it's going to be anything like what we've seen in some of these sound bites that we just play for you guys. If it's anything like that, then good Lord Almighty, get ready for a ride. So the question to the audience is simply this: do you think this will be a successful first meeting for Zohran as he meets with President Donald Trump? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.